Hey everybody, my name is Madeline White. I am a junior Christian counseling major at TBC. My first 2 years, I was taking on-campus classes, and then for my junior year, my third year, I took a year off campus, and I'm doing it online from Terre Haute, Indiana. And then hopefully, for my senior year, I'll be returning to campus and finishing on campus. So as I said, I am currently in Terre Haute, Indiana, but I never really know how to answer when people ask where I'm from because my family kind of moved around. So like I'm from northern Indiana, and then right now I'm living in southern Indiana. And then my parents pastor in Arkansas, which is where I lived when I started TBC. So we'll say I'm from Terre Haute, Indiana, since that's where I'm at now. As I mentioned, my parents are in Arkansas, so about 6 or 7 years ago, my family and I moved to Arkansas for my parents to become full-time in a church down there in Little Rock. And then about 2 years ago, a little less than 2 years ago, they started a home missions church in Arkansas. So that was just really an exciting thing for them. And then from the home missions church, I started TBC ministry. So, because my parents have been in ministry majority of my life, I have also had my hand in a lot of different ministries, a lot of different opportunities. So, growing up, I did Spanish ministry. I was on the youth staff at my church in Indiana. I was in the music ministry, nursing home ministry. I mean, really just anything that was available to me, my parents made sure we were a part of. And then when we moved, and they started a home missions church, if you are a home missions pastor's kid, you know that you have your hand in everything and you're doing everything. So my siblings and I, we would set up every Sunday because we rented the building. Well, they still rent the building that they're in. So we would set up every Sunday, tear down every Sunday. I led worship. We did outreach, bus ministries. If we had a church dinner, we were making the church dinner and serving it and cleaning and just anything that was going on, we had our hands in and we were a part of. So that was also a really good learning opportunity for us. And then currently, I attend a different church now in Terre Haute, Indiana. And I love this church. I've been here about 6 months. And God's really it's the Lord's will that I'm here. I'm confident of that. And I've been able to be really involved in the music ministry. I lead worship sometimes. Hopefully I'm going to start teaching Sunday school. And then I currently head our Bible quizzing ministry. So I was able to Bible quiz for 4 or 5 years growing up, when it was really an important thing to me, really life-changing. And so I'm glad that I get to do that with our students at my current church. The 2 most influential books that I have read, my ministry expectations. I am currently a student at TBC because I hope to someday counsel sex traffic victims and women who have gone through abortions, which most of the time are the same. Some of the time they're the same individuals. So I work currently with an organization called Live Action, and we really, right now, the things that I do are volunteer work only. And I do a lot of writing letters to local leaders pertaining to certain legislations, attending pro-life marches. I actually just got back yesterday from a pro-life March for Life in Washington, D.C. That was amazing. Such a good time. And I also work with another organization doing volunteer work called Our Rescue. And they work with sex traffic victims, kind of rehabilitating them. And they have told me that if I graduate with a master's degree and get my counseling license, that they will consider employing me. And I won't just be working with them at a volunteer level anymore. And although that would be a job, I also feel like that is ministry, and that's what I feel really led to do at this moment in my life. So we'll see what happens. 2 most influential books I have read are probably Gods at War and that just talks about like the different idols in our lives that we don't realize that we have, but we like sacrifice our time and efforts towards. So God's at War by Kyle Idleman, and Boundaries, and I can't remember off the top of my head who Boundaries is by, but I read it last year in one of my counseling classes, and it completely changed my mindset in my life. Like, I'm a major people pleaser. I'm an Enneagram 2. I don't know if anybody does Enneagrams, but I'm a major people pleaser, and so the book Boundaries really helped me form healthier boundaries in my life when it comes to like people pleasing and doing things for others. It's a really good book. Leisure hobby preference. I love to crochet. Kind of sound like a mammal, but I love crocheting. I usually crochet blankets, but I have crocheted a couple like kids toys. Right now I'm trying to crochet like 30 or more little loveys, which are like little stuffed animals attached to a small blanket, for a NICU unit in Indianapolis, which is like an hour away from me. They need a bunch of them for their babies. So that's what I'm working on right now for my leisure hobby. My personal interesting trivia. I used to work for United Airlines. It's like one of the, I think, an interesting thing. I used to work for United Airlines, and it allowed me to travel to like, I think 17 countries. Yes, so I loved traveling. I love traveling currently. I'm just a broke college student and can't do it as much anymore. But yes, so I am super excited about this class. I'm super excited to be in it with all of you, and hope that we grow together as the semester continues.